My name is Noah. I'm 33, the elder sibling, the one who blends into the background, always arriving early, arranging chairs without prompting, and knowing exactly where the power cords are stored. I manage operations at a warehouse off I-84, juggling spreadsheets and delivery schedules. Where did pallet 48 end up? Why does scanner 7 always fail after lunch? I live solo in a one-bedroom apartment with walls so thin I hear everything. A balcony just big enough for one chair, and a basil plant that's always on the verge of surrender. A whiteboard by the door tracks my life. Bills, shift changes, grandma's Tuesday calls. When things go wrong, people dial me because I answer, not because I'm the life of the party. In our family's tale, my sister Nena is the star. Mom says she brightens any space. Dad calls her a firecracker. Nena insists I'm the imaginative one, turning late rent into a story beat. She's 4 years my junior, stunning in every snapshot, and a master at, I just need a hand for a week. As kids, I gave her the prime chair for piano practice because the sound carried better from the corner. In high school, I rode the bus so she could drive to her rehearsals. Post-college, I lent her small sums that grew into a larger one once. It never felt like a saga, just what brothers do. I thrive on routine. Saturday laundry, Sunday pasta, Tuesday calls with grandma who cycles through 3 questions in random order. Are you eating enough? Saving money? Getting rest? I reply yes, yes, and I'm trying. I cherish small, steady things. My chipped blue mug, my fixed path through the grocery store, my sneakers aligned by the door. I don't need much, but I need honesty. When Nena got engaged, I embraced her genuinely. She and Mark had that seamless, finish each other's thoughts connection that looks perfect on invitations. Mom bought a planner with dividers. Dad vowed we'd all chip in. The planner sat on their counter like a vital organ. I'm good at contributing. Tell me what's needed, I said, not as a trick but as instinct. Months passed. A group chat, N&M wedding plans, buzzed without me. Mom claimed too many voices would spoil it, sending me screenshots like I was allowed in the foyer but not the main room, color schemes, cake flavor debates, lemon elderflower, September or maybe October if the foliage cooperates. I kept my vacation days open. When the venue needed a deposit, I paid to secure the date. When the photographer required a retainer, I covered it to lock in Nena's preferred style. When the florist demanded a design fee, I handled it because they only accept Zelle and Dad couldn't figure it out. I don't crave the spotlight, I crave confirmations. One Tuesday night after a day wrestling with mismatched box counts, I texted Nena, "Hey, is the wedding date set? Need to plan PTO." Her reply came fast, unusual. "It was last week." I stared, the words repelling like misaligned magnets. "What?" I typed. "We kept it tiny," she said. "Just a few key people." The fridge's hum grew louder. I called Mom. She answered like she'd been expecting me. "Noah, honey, it was a small gathering for close family. We decided you didn't need to be there." The family decided. My presence unnecessary. I watched my basil tilt toward nothing and felt something shift inside. "Okay," I said. "That's my practical boy," Mom said, relieved. "It was intimate, no drama. You're not big on crowds." They forgot I funded the wedding. I didn't ask for photos or cake details. I hung up, washed a clean mug, and studied my reflection in the dark window. My mouth curved into something like a smile but felt like a gate shutting. I nodded calmly and stepped away. The next morning I woke before my alarm, brewed coffee I couldn't taste, and wrote a list in sharp capitals because lists anchor me. Go to work. Don't fight. Review contracts before paying. Here's how it unfolded in small moments that pile up. As kids, Nena took the front seat because she got carsick. I got "You're such a helper." At 11, she rushed through the back door, her backpack cracking a cabinet hinge. Mom kissed her forehead and handed me a screwdriver. "You're better at this," she said. At 16, Nena hit the curb and blew a tire. I took the blame because you handle Dad better when he's upset. At 19, she needed a temporary place and turned my old room into her vanity space for better lighting. Money flowed like a current. My senior year, my laptop crashed. I scraped together diner tips for a used one. When her phone broke, Mom used my card for a new one because you'll earn rewards. When she got her first apartment, I co-signed the lease. When she moved out, I paid $412 for damages because the deposit fell short and the landlord was tough. Parking tickets piled up. "Can you cover it? They'll boot my car if it's not paid today. $40 here, $95 there." "Just until Friday," she'd say, a Friday that slid to Monday, then to "I'll pay you back" promise. I told myself it was fine, that I was buying peace. Then came the engagement. Mom turned into a project general, wielding color-coded spreadsheets. She assigned roles like a director. We all do what we can, she said, but it always landed on me. 2 months in, I'd paid $1,500 for the venue deposit, $1,000 for the photographer's retainer, $600 for the florist's design fee, and $120 for a park permit for photos. Mom called each temporary. Dad said, "We'll settle up later." Later stretches like elastic in our family. If I'd been included, I might have kept agreeing, but they erased me like a blemish in a photo. After Mom's call, I opened my emails, read the contracts like noticing a wall I'd been hitting. Venue deposit, non-refundable, balance due a week before, contract holder, me. Photographer. Retainer non-refundable, balance due on gallery delivery, billing, me. Florist. Design fee toward balance, remainder due on pickup, contact, Mom, but my card on file. Planner, my card for incidentals. I shut my laptop and sat. The basil looked weary. So did I went to work because that's my rhythm. I counted boxes, answered pallet 48 short 3, ate a banana in the break room like it was energy. At lunch, my phone pinged. Mom, we're so thankful you covered deposits. We kept it small, but there were upgrades. Clear the balances this week. Venue, flowers, bar, use your card. We'll pay you back after the holidays. After the holidays means after you stop asking. I wasn't invited, I said. Noah, don't make it about you, Mom replied. Mark, my new brother-in-law, texted from an unknown number. Hey, thanks for everything. We wanted a vibe. Hope you get it. Send your Venmo for drinks or something. Drinks or something, like a tip for being excluded. I laughed in the break room, and the guy from returns asked if I was okay. Family stuff, I said. He nodded like that explained everything. By 3:00 p.m., the planner emailed a polite grenade. Subject, final payments, Nena and Mark. Venue balance, $9,900. Florals. $2,150. Bar extension, $1,280. Photography, $2,300. We'll charge your card by 10:00 a.m. tomorrow unless instructed otherwise. There it was, a deadline. My card, their ATM. I went home, sat in the loud silence of my thoughts, and stared at the whiteboard. In the corner, I'd written condo fund, $4,800 with a spring goal. I imagined it shrinking for a party I didn't see. Something small in me stood tall. I checked my budget, my native tongue. Monthly take-home, $2,740, rent and utilities. $1,100, groceries, $220, insurance, phone, gas, $250, savings, $900 to the fund. If nothing breaks, the rest covers coffee, socks when they tear, or the car's winter tantrum. No line for someone else's $9,900. No slot for wedding I wasn't allowed to attend. I thought of the times I left work early to wait for a plumber at Nena's, missed movie nights for Mom's candle runs, or climbed ladders because you're tall. In our family, my skills are tools. If I don't offer them, I'm selfish. I cooked pasta I didn't want, ate 3 bites, tried to read, but the words danced. I slept poorly. I woke with a plan, not vengeance, but precision. Return the costs to them, reclaim my name. I called out of work, a rare move, and wrote a script because I ramble when nervous. Hi, remove my card from the account. Send invoices to the contracting parties. Any charge after this timestamp is unauthorized. I rehearsed in my kitchen, phone to ear, speaking to air. I sounded steady new. I texted Mom, stopping by Sunday at noon. She replied, bagels, lovely. I wrote Sunday folder on an index card and clipped it to my keys. I slept better. Sunday at noon, I entered my parents' house. Mom loves Sundays, calling bagels a spread and arranging fruit like it's art. I parked a block away for 10 extra steps to breathe. The house smelled like a florist who bakes. Leftover wedding flowers crowded every surface. A glittery card on the mantel read, to the bride and groom. Tiny honey jars labeled N&M Sweetest Day stacked nearby. I felt nothing for the honey. Mom air-kissed my cheek. You look exhausted, she said, meaning be agreeable. Dad said, help move the table outside, not waiting for a reply. Nena sauntered in, wearing a wifey sweatshirt, radiant. She gave me a nod like I was a stranger from a bus stop. Hey, she said. Hey, I replied. We sat. Bagels, cream cheese, lox fanned precisely. No one apologized or suggested we discuss it. Whether got a mention first. I set a slim folder on the table, hands steady. I brought something, I said. Mom's smile flickered. It's the wedding balances, I continued. Vendors have my card, that ends today. I've asked them to bill you. Mom blinked like I'd cut off her show. Don't be theatrical, she said. Dad frowned. We said we'd pay you back. Nena's jaw tightened. We just got married, can you not ruin this? Your day was last week, I said. This is mine. Mom's voice turned sweet but firm. We kept it small to avoid stress. You hate crowds, we did you a favor. It's personal, I said calmly. You said I wasn't important enough to attend, but important enough to pay. She flinched. Dad stared at his coffee like it held answers. I slid the folder over. Venue balance due tomorrow, florals by Wednesday. I reversed the bar extension charge, it was unauthorized. I've frozen my card, give vendors yours. Nena's tone cut. You're being spiteful. I shook my head. Not spite, closure. The room stilled, even the fridge paused. Mom's eyes welled, anger posing as sorrow. After all we've done for you, I kept steady. Like handing me chores and calling it care, Dad slapped the table. Watch it, watch your boundaries, I said. Nena laughed, sharp and brief. You paid deposits, so what? Mark's cousin did the DJ, everyone pitches in. To events they're invited to, I said. Mom stood, chair scraping. Leave now and don't come for Christmas. I'm not leaving, I said. I'm departing. Nena tossed a final jab. Fine, we'll pay you later, like Dad said. She air-quoted later. She thought it would sting. Later isn't a deadline, I said, but okay. Mom followed me to the hall. Noah, be sensible, you're making me the villain. You made a choice, I said, hand on the knob. I'm making mine. She reached for me, then stopped. You're ungrateful. I'm done being unseen. I stepped onto the porch. The day was crisp and clear. My phone buzzed, unknown number. I let it ring. Dad called after me. You'll regret this, like it was a command. I sat in my car, ran the heat until my fingers warmed, and drove home to my Basil, which might survive or not, but was mine. The aftermath wasn't a storm, it was small noises. 10:08 p.m. planner. Hi, Noah. Saw your note, alternate card. Reply, use the bride or her mother, remove mine. 1:27 p.m. venue, balance due tomorrow, confirm payment method. Reply, not me, contact mom. Remove my card. 2:02 p.m. florist, card ending 7721 on file, keep. Reply, that's mine, remove, use mom or Nena. 2:40 p.m. bank alert. Attempted $1280 bar extension charge. I called the bank, flagged it as unauthorized, requested a new card. Hold music, a flute like an empty corridor. I stayed on, answered 3 security questions and a vague one. The rep said, we'll overnight the card. I said, thank you, and meant it like air. 3:15 p.m. mom's voicemail. We're humiliated, you embarrassed us. The venue thinks we're broke. 3:17 p.m. dad. You're acting childish. 3:22 p.m. Nena. Mark says pay it, we'll send $500 this week. Me, no, Nena, you're enjoying this. Me, I'm exhausted. At 4 o'clock p.m. I emailed all vendors, CCing mom and Nena. Subject, billing contact change, Noah removed. Body. Effective immediately, remove my card and name from accounts for Nena and Mark's event. Send invoices to mom or Nena. Charges to my card after this timestamp are unauthorized. Noah. Sending it felt like shelving a heavy box correctly. 5:20 p.m. my aunt texted a forgiveness verse. I replied, thanks, dodging family battles. 7:05 p.m. neighbor knocked, my package got misdelivered. You okay? She asked, seeing my face. Family drama, I said. She nodded like it was a forecast. That night I listed. Freeze credit Experian Equifax TransUnion. Remove saved payment from family Amazon. Change bank passwords. Set $1 alerts. Prefer text voicemail. Book therapy. Get a bigger Basil pot. I did the first 4, booked Friday 8 a.m. therapy, and moved the Basil to better light. I set my phone to silent and slept like a cord was cut. Monday, the group chat erupted. So ungrateful. After all mom does. Money isn't everything. You think you're superior. I muted it. 9:12 a.m. venue, per your request, billing updated. Congrats to the couple. I stared at the exclamation like it had claws and let it go. At lunch, Eli from work sat across. You're quiet. Family stuff, I said. Mysterious, he grinned. Need brain-canceling headphones? I gave the short version. He said, I'd love a family that calls me petty for not bankrolling their party. I laughed loud and felt something loosen. Tuesday, my boss called me in. You've been sharp. Lead peak season scheduling. It came with a small raise. I swallowed hard and said, thanks. I bought good coffee beans, no budget guilt. Wednesday evening, mom buzzed my building 9 times without warning. She held a bakery box like pastries fix math. I watched through the glass, didn't let her in. She texted, open the door. Me, don't come unannounced. She stood until the box likely cooled, then left. Thursday, Dad sent a photo of my old baseball glove. Keep or toss, meaning come make peace. Me, keep it, you're being dramatic. I left the phone down. Sometimes silence is grown up. Friday, 8 a.m., I told a therapist I'd been paying to belong to my family. Saying it aloud made it solid. She asked, "What's it like to stop paying?" We listed, "Don't lend what you can't gift. Don't sign for things you don't control. Don't attend where you're a prop. Explain boundaries once." I walked 2 blocks to feel my feet, bought a bigger basil pot and good soil. I repotted it on the balcony, apologizing for the upheaval. Over the weekend, Grandma called. "Heard there was trouble," she said cautiously. I told her plainly. "They had a wedding without me." I pulled my card. She sighed like a teapot starting. "I'm sorry, dear. Come Tuesday, I made stew." I wrote stew on Tuesday like a meeting. Sunday, Mom texted, "Venue needs a card today." Then, "Photographer won't release photos until paid." Then, "Florist says we're late." Proof the system works when I'm not it. I didn't reply. A week later, Mom sent $250 note. "Start of payback." I didn't say thanks, moved it to savings, labeled it door fund for a condo with a smooth blue door. No big sorry came, just quieter pings. It felt odd, then normal. 3 weeks later, Nena texted at 10:03 a.m. "I hate how this went. You didn't deserve my text. I was cruel." I typed and erased 5 times. Finally. "I'm done being a wallet," she replied. "K not peace, not war, a pause. Work got busy in a good way." I streamlined, pick paths, cut 6 minutes, turned chaos into order. My boss emailed, "Great job." I printed it, stuck it by the whiteboard, proof effort counts somewhere. A Sunday, my neighbor invited me to a potluck, Friendsgiving too. I brought rolls, duct tape, and my glove box screwdriver. Their table needed a fix. I made a brace from a paint stick. We shared gratitudes. I said boundaries. It landed like a joke, then didn't. No one pressed for more. Tuesday, I took Grandma stew, fixed her cabinet hinge again. "It keeps slipping," she said. "Things do," I replied. She patted my hand. "Tighten them again." We watched a game show, mocked a burger proposal ad. She gave me Tupperware saying, "Don't forget your containers, our love code." A month out, Mom sent $200 for florists and a text. "We miss you." It felt like a photo of a meal, pretty, not nourishing. I replied, "Thanks for the transfer." She sent a picture of Nena and Mark cutting another cake. I set my phone down and watered the basil. Thursday, I said no without flinching. "Nena, can you wash the dog?" Me, "No, I'm busy." My plans were laundry and silence, but they mattered. She sent a thumbs up. The world held. I made pancakes Sunday to use old syrup, burned the first, ate it anyway. Weeks later, I checked my credit report clean. I exhaled, set a 6-month reminder. I stuck a post-it on the balcony door. "Basil likes mornings," convincing us both. No thunder came, just a quieter phone and a firmer back. It was enough. I kept expecting a storm. Closure arrived like a latch clicking. "Here's what it looks like close-up." I say no, quicker, softer. "No, I won't co-sign." "No, I can't pay." "No, Sunday's bad for moving tables." I don't apologize in paragraphs or debate my choices. Mom sends coupons. I say thanks or nothing. Dad sends dog videos, a retriever fetching groceries. I send a laugh emoji. The dog seems self-sufficient. Nena sends memes bi-weekly. We're not healed, just quieter. I answer Grandma Tuesdays, tell her about the basil. She says, "Maybe it needs a friend," like I should get another plant for company. I taped an index card in my mug cabinet. I won't fund a seat I'm not offered. I won't let family access my funds. I won't explain boundaries twice. I'll build the life I earn, not poetry, a checklist I see when the kettle hums. I still arrive early, stack chairs when invited, fix hinges when asked with sincerity. I leave before photos sometimes because I value my bed over chatter. Now, I choose those actions, not because my name's on a task labeled love. I don't know if Nena will ever say, "Sorry we excluded you." I don't need it to move forward. The apology I needed was to myself. "You weren't wrong for saying no, you were cautious." My story shifted, not a twist, a new line. This isn't payback, it's resolution. It's the lock clicking on my side. It's a basil plant that might thrive or wilt, but it's mine. It's a blue door in a home I don't own yet, but I'm heading there, one quiet no at a time. My name is Noah, 33, elder sibling, background figure. Not a wallet, not a foe, just a man who learned no is enough and later isn't a plan. And the next morning I chose myself and kept choosing myself until it became not a moment, but a life.